What's up everybody? So before this video begins, I do want to shout out this channel that has reached out to me. If you want to skip this, go to the 30-second mark. I'm going to go ahead and play a clip of his video.
How are you different from others? Do you even know? Welcome to the apestalk and let's find out. Many people think that if they disappeared off the face of the earth, that it would just continue to turn as if nothing had happened, and that is simply not the case.
Alright, so I don't want to play the whole video for you guys. I want you guys to actually check him out and watch this video for yourself. I think it's really unique, and I think there's definitely potential for this channel to blow up. So I highly recommend that you guys check him out. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the video. Hey everyone, it's MasterAquatics bringing you another video. In this video, I want to talk about one of the most popular fish in the fish hobby, the Oscar fish. The Oscar fish is a fish that everyone at least gets once when they have a fish tank, when they get into this hobby. It's a really popular fish. You can get them almost anywhere. You can get them at Petco, PetSmart, any local fish shop. They are going to have this fish. Like I said, it's a very interesting fish. It's favorited by a lot of people. As soon as they see an Oscar, they want to grab one. In this video, I want to point out 5 reasons why you should get an Oscar fish. Reason number 1, the obvious. They are very beautiful. They have lots of good coloration. They come in all kinds of varieties. The most popular variety, or the most common ones that you can find almost anywhere, are the standard fin Oscars, the tiger Oscars, and the albino Oscars, which are the ones that you see in front of you right now in this clip. Now for the people that are not interested in Oscars at all, they're gonna say that, yeah, there's plenty of other fish out there that have better colors than the Oscars, but that's because they don't even like Oscars in the first place. But to somebody that's wanting an Oscar, or they've had an Oscar, or they're interested in Oscars, they're gonna agree with me that they're beautiful. I like the colors myself personally. A lot of people seem to do as well. If you're wanting to get an Oscar and you're not sure what colors you want for your Oscar, I would just go with the most common one, which is the red tiger Oscar. These are the most popular, and in my opinion, these are the best looking ones. There's also some other types of Oscars out there that I don't have a clip of or a picture of, but they can come in black and gold. You also have an all white one, and you'll have one that's all red. You can just look them up online and see for yourself which one that you like the most, and maybe you can place an order online, or maybe you can get one yourself from your local fish store. I highly recommend that you do. Reason number 2 is that if you like big fish in the first place, then getting an Oscar is right for you as well. They can get up to 16 inches. They can also get up to 3.5 pounds. That's a thick boy, y'all. They can get really big, and if you have a aquarium that's suitable for predator fish, or if you're wanting an aquarium that's packed and stocked with predator fish, then the Oscar is right for you. Having a big fish is more enjoyable in my opinion. Smaller fish are cool too. I love smaller fish. I love keeping them in aquariums, but you know, after a while they just get kind of dull. With bigger fish such as Oscars, you can hand feed them. You can train them to notice you when you come to the aquarium and associate you with food, which is always fun, because then that leads to hand feeding, which is cool as well. Oscars, they love to eat, they love to get big, they're really fun to keep, especially when they get to their adult size. Just make sure that you have a plan in the future to rehome these fish or to get a bigger aquarium, because as I mentioned before, they do get really big, so make sure that they have a good home when they reach adulthood. A suitable aquarium size for the Oscar fish, I would recommend a 55-gallon tank if you plan on housing a Oscar on its own. You can also get a 75-gallon tank, and maybe add a few other similar sized fish in there that are passive aggressive. Me personally, I started my Oscar fish in a 75-gallon tank. He did well. Of course, he was baby size, and I upgraded him eventually to the 125-gallon aquarium. And as of right now, in the 125-gallon tank, he is doing absolutely perfect. Although I have to state, he's not fully grown yet, but he's still pretty big. He's around 7 to 8 inches right now, and he's doing absolutely fantastic in the 125-gallon tank. I even have other fish in there about his size, and he has no problems whatsoever being in a 125-gallon tank. Now of course, if he was a lot bigger than he was right now, I could possibly have to upgrade him to maybe like a 150 or a 160, but he could actually live in there full grown as long as I continue to do my daily maintenance of cleaning out the filter and doing the water changes. So a 125-gallon tank in my personal opinion, is the best tank size for an Oscar. It just also depends on how aggressive your Oscar is, and I'll be talking about that later on in the video, but mine is passive aggressive. He doesn't really bother anybody, and the clip that you see in front of you is when I got him when he was actually really small. This clip is actually just to show you how big they can actually get. So just keep in mind about the tank size that you're going to put this Oscar in when you do get one, if you do want to get one, and just make sure that you have a future plan of rehoming them if you don't plan on keeping them in the long run. And remember, 125 is the best tank size in my personal opinion for a full-grown Oscar. Reason number 3 why you should buy an Oscar is that they are fun to watch during feeding time. These Oscars, they will eat pretty much anything that you can give them. Not only that, they will eat more than any of your other fish. They always like to fill themselves up until they cannot eat anymore. You can feed them bugs such as June bugs, large mosquitoes, worms, night crawlers. You can feed them seafood like scallops, shrimp. You can feed them bloodworms. You can feed them krill. You can feed them pellets. I highly recommend that if you want to feed your Oscar pellets, I recommend the Bug Bites brand. This is perfect for almost any fish that can fit these pellets in their mouths. The reason why I recommend these pellets is not because I just want to get you guys to buy these pellets, but there's a lot of fish out there, maybe some Oscars, that are kind of finicky when it comes to feeding time, and if you're having trouble getting your Oscar to eat or any other fish, I recommend the Bug Bites brand because in my personal experience, I've been using these pellets for almost a year now, and I haven't had one fish that turned these pellets down. They're a whole lot better than the Tetra Flakes, so I highly recommend that you get these. I use these pellets for a very long time, and every fish that I've given these pellets to, they absolutely love them. So order yourself some through Amazon by clicking the link down in the description. Now, unlike goldfish, the Oscar fish, they do eat a lot, but they do have a breaking point when it comes to overeating. So goldfish, they'll continue to eat until their stomach explodes pretty much. The Oscar does not. The Oscar will actually stop eating when he is full. So that's another cool thing about the Oscar. So you don't have to worry about overfeeding. You actually have to worry about underfeeding, because these fish, like I said, they eat a lot, and I always have to overfeed these Oscars just so they can get the right amount of food, so that way they can continue to grow the way they are supposed to grow. Alright, so reason number 4 that you should buy an Oscar fish is that they have lots of personality. Now, you've heard a lot of people on YouTube and a lot of people at the stores, they'll tell you, yeah, you know, Oscars, they are like the cats and dogs of the fish world, and that is true, but there's more to them than just that. They actually have different characteristics and different personalities than all the other Oscar fish. So every Oscar is a little bit different, and some Oscars are really mean. Some Oscars will bite your finger if you stick your finger in the fish tank. Check out this guy right here. And other Oscars, they are very peaceful. It all just depends on how they were raised, how they grew up, what fish they were around when they were growing up. If you buy your Oscar at an early age, at a very young age, and you have them grow up around goldfish, or if you have them grow up around angelfish, danios, tetras, they might not be prone to attacking and killing your other fish, because there are horror stories out there of fish owners who've had Oscars that will just completely destroy any other fish, including other Oscars. Me, luckily, I got this Oscar when he was very small. You guys saw the clip of him earlier of how small when I got him, and when I bought him, he was just in another tank with another Oscar, and I bought him, put him in a 75-gallon tank. He was around angelfish, he was around danios, clown loaches, a lot of other community type fish, and at the time he was small, so he wasn't able to eat them, but he was also not being aggressive towards them and fighting them. And I think because of that, he is pretty docile with his tank mates right now. I hardly ever see him spar with any of the other fish, and if he does, it's because the other fish started it. I've seen him spar with my Texas cichlid, and it's usually because the Texas cichlid is trying to punk him out of some food that they both find at the same time, and that's pretty much it. They're not really aggressive unless you buy them from an owner or from a place where all they grew up around was other big fish that picked on it, or they grew up by themselves where they were alone. And I think they actually learned the aggressive behavior from other fish, so I'm not sure. You can correct me on that. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. But like I said, it all just depends on your Oscar. Some Oscars are very bubbly, they'll see you, they're really happy, they'll beg you for food. Some Oscars will just stare you down and just mean mug you. Some will try to bite your finger if you stick your finger in there. It all just depends on the Oscar itself. So make sure before you buy the Oscar, if you're looking for a very peaceful one, make sure you test him out, you know, stick your finger in there. If he bites it, he's gonna hate you forever. If he doesn't, then he's gonna love you forever. Reason number 5 why you should buy an Oscar is that they are easy to get predatory type fish. The reason why I say this is because if you have never gotten a predatory type fish and you're looking for one that's easy to take care of, one that's cheap and easy to find, then the Oscar is the right predatory type fish for you, because a lot of the other predatory type fish, most of them are really expensive, they're harder to care for, and they're harder to find. The Oscar is the opposite of that. You can find them anywhere, and most of them only start out at $10, and the much bigger ones maybe will cost you at most $50 unless you go to somebody that's trying to rip you off. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the video of my crab just showing no mercy to these red crawfish. He ate about 6 of them in this video. The video currently has 513,000 views. I'm hoping I can get it to trending. I'm also hoping I can get it to at least 1 million. Just at least 1 million. I think it really deserves that. If you enjoy watching crabs hunting and killing and feeding on live crawfish and other things, then this video is for you. Click on the card on the top right hand corner, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace out.